Hi guys, welcome to the flight today. As we're down in Kingston, Jamaica, and we're going to be doing a flight to the Bahamas, to Linden Airport, International Airport, for Mike Yankee November. We'll be making our flight route today. Once we get down into Linden, we're going to be arriving on the VR approach runway 32. We'll be departing out of runway 12 here in Kingston, and with the Air Jamaica A340-600. Now there is a real life A340-300. I don't know about the 600, but I thought we'd take Air Jamaica as these are the original Air Jamaica colours. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. Help us get to that 2k subscriber goal. And now we can get inside the cockpit and start the aircraft up ready for our departure out of lovely Kingston Airport. So we're currently now in the Airbus A340. We'll go overhead. We'll get our batteries all on. The APU battery can go on along the external power, which is checked. We'll get all of our fuel pumps on, which can be checked and set. We'll get the IRSs all to nav, which can be done now. After that, we'll get the flight recorder, which can go on and checked. Cabin crew supply with the window heats can go on as well with the probes. Get the APU bleed on, and we'll get the APU ready to ignite. Emergency exit lights can go to arm, which are set. No smoking, seatbelt signs can also go on. We can start the APU up now, ready to go. So we'll get all of the panels, all of our PFD navigational displays, the ECAM displays all set up for us as we ride through and get everything lit up today. So predictive wind shear can be auto, system 1 will go on, everything else to auto, which will be checked. As we now ride, get the FMCs lit. First officer side can get lit up as well. And we are fully and set, ready to go. So I'm going to go into the initial, I'm going to get up the Toliss, and from here we can now get in our flight plan route. So we're going to get the company route up, which is going to be Mike Kilo Juliet Papa, Mike Yankee November 01 for the company route, which is going to go in and get inserted. Our flight number today is 367 passengers. We've got 299. Cost index today we're going for 55. Got a cruise of 340. Over on the block, 0 fuel weight 235.2 for a 19.7. Block out is 45.1. That's us all set there on for the departure out. We're leaving out runway 12, which is going to be set, and we are going to be going direct to Piblo. So we'll insert that. We'll get Piblo, which is already there, and we can get the flight plan discontinuity out. Once we come in for the destination, we're coming in for the VOR approach for runway 32. So we've got RNAV and VOR. So I should imagine with the RNAV, the aircraft will fly itself automatically, but we'll go in for the VOR for 32, which can go in. We can set that in as well. Then we can see when we come down from our top of descent, we're going to ride it all the way through Leapers, then Mincy, and then we're going to go all the way down to the arrival, which will be all set and checked for us. So that's all fine there. We've got the flight plan all set. On for the Perth, taking off today. On for a flaps 2 config. We've got 141 for V1. We've got 157 for rotate. And we've also got 165 for V2. Flap settings going to be 2 up, 4.3. And we've got a flex temp of 46. Okay, which is all set. So that is us all set on the departure. Everything's all in. We can see our slat retraction speed is 222, clean speed is 232, and flap retraction is 158. So we're just waiting for the IRSs now to come alive. TCAS etc. can go on, so we've got that to auto. We can get that to TA. which is also set and checked, and everything else now is all ready for us to go. We'll go and get the METARs quickly, and then once we've got the METARs we can then get ready for our pushback, as it's much easier putting it in on SimBrief and then just basically uploading the company route. Saves a lot of time as well, so the Airbus is time efficient compared to the Boeings. So QNH is going to be 1014 leaving out, which is set and checked. Alignment is in 6 minutes, everything else is all on, APU bleed is on and checked, along with the packs which are all on, and everything seems ready to go. So we're just waiting for the IRS, and then once the IRS is aligned, then we can call the tug and get ready to leave. Okay, so the IRSs are now aligned and we are fully ready to go. As we can see, as we leave out on the departure, we're going to taxi on out for runway 12 all the way up Alpha. Once we leave out, we're going to basically make round. As we leave, we're going to run down onto a left-hand turn onto a right, which is then going to take us all the way up to our destination in the Bahamas, which is all the way up here. So we're going to plan. You guys can see we're going to come up to Lipaz, and as we come through onto the arrival, we can see that once we go to the charts, we're going to come down at Lipaz, and then we're going to go to Mincy, which is our initial fix, and then we're going to come down to Dill, and then we've got the 1127 where we're going to run for the VOR Yankee runway 32. So first time trying the VOR approach here in the Airbus, as there's a few different little things that go on, so we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll disconnect and fly visually, so either way we'll get it all started. So we'll go overhead now, we can disconnect the external power and we can call the tug ready to leave. Chance, we've got 1014 which is on the QNHs, which is already set and checked for us. So it should be fun. First VOR approach we'll do down into the Bahamas. We've got the orthos down as well, so should have some lovely sea. It's got some lovely turquoisey blue sea coming down. Tug's now going to lift us up.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Okay, so he's ready to connect now. He's going to boost us up. So we're going to come down for 2,000 feet, 10 nautical miles, 4.1 DME. Here's where we're going to start at 3-degree glide path at Dill. And then as we come down 3-degree glide path, and we roll in between 740 and 849. 410 for 349 decision height. And be all set and ready to come in. So we've got the 1127 as we come through, radial 321 as we can see. So go to the engines, get them onto engine start for ignition.
So it's connected and bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake for me, please.
Okay, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, so whilst we're cleared for pushback, we'll go and start engine number 3 and engine number 4. TN2 is coming to line for both 3 and 4, and we'll go outside and take a closer look. Okay, so as number 3 and 4 come to life, we can now go and start engine number 1 and 2. You can see N2 is now starting to lift for 1 and 2, and we'll go outside and get a closer look.
Operation complete. Set the parking brake for me, please.
Get the parking brake on, which is set.
Disconnecting 2. Stand by.
I don't know why he puts a little bit over to the right, but we'll fix that out as he drops us down. As we come over now, we can get the APU bleed off along with the APU, which will all be set and checked as we switch over onto the buses. We'll go down now onto the takeoff config, which should then pop up. Now we get the aircraft fully configured and ready for our departure route. So he's just disconnecting us and then we'll be ready to depart.
Alright man, 2 is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
See you soon, bye bye. So, put nav to nav 1, which is all checked. Nose can go to taxi, so we don't blind him. And we are now fully ready and set to leave. So spoilers can be armed. We get our takeoff flaps number 2 to take off, which is checked. Auto brake can be maxed. We'll see the trims up now as the hydraulics are in, and we can test the takeoff config once number 2 comes down. Dignity cabin, we'll let them know just before we leave. And takeoff config, which can be tested, which is normal. So we can release the parking brake now, and we'll make a right hand turn and correct to what the tug man forgot to do. Got flex temper 46 as we leave out. As we taxi on down to runway 12, and as we come through and leave out, we're going to make a right hand turn. Taxi lights are on along with our beacons. So follow it all the way down to runway 12 now. First time taking the 340 with Air Jamaica. Train mode's on, we're going up for 340, which is set and on managed mode. Everything is on managed mode at the moment. So we're going to go over the whole short line up for 1-2. Okay, so here we are, ready to leave, as we'll just line up, but briefly we'll realign ourselves just before takeoff. So we can see as we run out, we're going to basically make a left-hand turn. We can have a look and see what the weather's saying, if there is any weather at all. We'll sort out on the tilt. We're going to make a left-hand turn. As we ride through, we can see 250 up to 10,000 feet, top of climb, then we'll go up to 340. So we are all set and configured, so we can get our landing lights on, nose can go on for takeoff, runway tunnel lights and everything is on and checked, and we are now clear to go. So we can release the parking brake, go to 40%, and so we go. So manual flex, SRS, nav blue, auto thrust set. Full pressure on the column. knots. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. So as we climb up through, we go up to a flap 1 with our slats retraction. As we pass through 1100 feet, aircraft's handling very nice. Let's go into that left hand turn now. Go to 250, go back to level climb, and we start to nose down just on the altitude a little. Into that right hand turn we go. Keeping it nice and stable. Aircraft's lovely and controlled as we go into that left hand turn. Then a slight retraction speed. Let's just come back in onto that left hand turn. So slats can be fully extended now. As we climb up through 2,800 feet, and we now move track as we now track onto that left hand turn, which is then going to take us onto that right. So as we're just holding 250 now, we can just slowly pitch the aircraft up just to maintain through, and we'll go back in onto that right hand turn. So that's 250. Sudden gust of wind. Let's go into that right hand turn now. 250, which we're holding. And as the aircraft is stable enough, we can let the autopilot now take control. As we now climb straight up to a flight level 340 as we leave at lovely Kingston, Jamaica. So, after takeoff checklist, auto brake, which is off and checked, landing lights, which will go off, and nose can go off as well, which is also set and checked. Nav 1 and 2, runway tunnel flaps can go off. Can tell the cabin to relax now, as we are now passing through 6,200 feet. So it's now passing through 9,000 feet, landing lights and everything is off. QNHs now can go back to standard, which is set on both sides and checked. And we are now on our climb out up to 340. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave you with the takeoff cinematics, and once we get back into the flight deck, we'll then be ready for our top of descent, ready to come in for the VOR approach, the VOR Yankee approach, which will get fully managed coming down into runway 32. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Leave your comments down below. Help us get to that 2K subscriber goal, and I'll see you guys when we get back for our top of descent. Hi guys, welcome back to the flight deck. Right now we're just going to get ready to make our top of descent, so I'm going to tune in for 10,000 feet, which will be set in chats coming in down onto the arrival. We're going to be coming down through the lead paths through to Mincy, which will be our initial approach fix. Then we'll be coming down for Dill, which will be our final approach point at 4.1 DME from localizer, where we hit that 3-degree glide path. Going to be coming down on the VOR Yankee 3-2 approach, which should be very nice. First time using the VOR approach as well. As we're just near to our top of descent, we can see just before MYNN, and then we're going to start to come down on the arrival. We can go and check out the minimums, and we'll check out the METARs as well. So Mike Yankee and Mike for the METARs. Coming in as we check the weather. QNH is 1016. Winds are 097 at 11. We're coming in for 320. Temperature is 27. So what we'll do is, there's our top of descent coming in. We can go in and get our arrival data as we come through. So QNH is going to be 1016. We've got 097 at 11 knots. Trans will be over on the transition, which is going to be 180, which is set and checked. Got a 1127 which will also get in. 27 degrees over on the temperature down in the Bahamas. The approach speed coming in for a full config. The MDA is going to be 410, which is also set and checked. As we come now ready for that descent down, 340 as we come through. And then once we get in, we can then start to get the aircraft fully managed and configured. Go down into the nav radios, and we're going to get the VORs now in, which is going to be the 1127. So there's the Zulu Quebec Alpha, a VOR that we need, and we're coming down on the 321 radio. Okay, which is all set and checked in. As we are now ready to go, we can start the descent. Now the aircraft is going to start to go into its descent mode as we leave flight level. So as the aircraft now leaves 340, can go ahead and open up the speed brakes. As we descend through flight level 300 now on that lovely descent, going over 2,500 feet per minute, 1016 at 18,000 feet, which will be checked. Once we get near to our final approach point, we'll then start to configure the aircraft ready to come in, where we'll switch over the tracks, get the aircraft all ready and configured to go. So passing through 300, speed brake can be let in now, and speeders are armed. Spoilers as pass through 29. Not too far now, 15 nautical miles from Namo. Then from Namo, once we come through, we're then going to hit Rydal, Hoggy, and from there we're going to then come in for Riddle from Lipaz 250 at 8,000 feet. And we can see once we get down we need to be at for 2,000 feet, coming in for the arrival as we intercept 2,000 then 1,500 feet. Passing through flight level 270 and 2,600 feet per minute as we come into the lovely Bahamas today. Now we've got some okay weather. Weather's not too bad, 11 knots. Got 155 on the V approach, got 10,000 which is set in on the MCP, everything else is managed. Once we come down near to the arrival, we're going to switch over on the VLR, get that all ready and set for the intercept for the 321, which are currently coming in inbound. Once the needle starts to move over to the left, we'll already be in nav mode, but then we can switch over and hit the approach, and that should then bring us down on for the arrival. 1,500 feet is where we're going to set it in for. We're going to come down from 2,000 feet. So we'll see if it works, we'll see what happens. There's Rydal now. There's currently 4.8 Demi. We're going to make that right hand turn, passing through flight level 254. There's Lipaz. Then we're going to get ready to make that left hand turn, which is then going to intercept us down, ready for the runway. Passing through 16,006. What's that right hand turn now? VOR is all set and checked to come in, as we've got the VOR which is all here and ready to go. We'll move on to that left hand turn, We've got nav already in, so we've already got that active, so we won't need to worry about that. We just need to now, coming down, as we've got 10,000 in, I'm going to set down 1005, which is also set and checked. 2,000 feet, which is going to be in. And we've got a 3-degree glide path. We've got a 155 coming down, which is going to give us relatively just around 800 feet per minute. 2,000 feet mandatory, as we can see. We've got 1,500 set and checked. And down the performance, descent is in 1016. All of our weather 410, which is in for the MDA. And then once we come down to Lipaz, we can see then we're going to follow it down through. And then we've got Mincy and Dill. Passing through 14,003. As Mincy is literally right next to Lipaz on for that left hand turn, and then we're going to basically move up, ready to intercept and come down onto the runway. Weather seems fine to come in. (1016), which is on both QNHs, and 1,500 feet, which is also set, ready for the arrival. Motherboard number 3 can be armed. Seatbelt signs are on. Mandatory passing through. We've got 1,500 for Dill, which will be checked before we go into the 3-degree glide path. So everything's going to come in. The nav will come in, which we'll already have set, and then we'll hit the approach once we come round. Could hit the approach now. Once we come in onto that left-hand bend, ready to intercept that Mincy. That would we could hit the approach just nearer to there once we see the needles. The needle's going to basically go over to the left, I should imagine, as it's going to be a slight right deviation onto the 321. Coming down for Lipaz 040, and then we're coming in for the 321. So it's going to be just a slight left, and then from Mincy, it's going to make a slight right deviation, as we can see. Let's get near to Mincy, we'll activate the approach, get the VOR over onto the other side for the rows, and then we'll get ready to come in. We've got both navs, which are both set for the 11270 on both sides of the 321. Just passing through 11,000 feet now, so we can get our landing lights, which can go on. Noses we can wait. Runway tunnel flights on we'll get once we come near to the airport. Currently 18 nautical miles. We're getting ready to slow to 250 over on our speed for Lipaz. So there's 250, which is going to come through. And our speed now decelerates, the aircraft will hold 10,000 feet. Once we go under 250, we'll continue the descent down. Start our descent from 10,000 feet. we're going to make that left-hand turn from Liepans, which is right here in our strides. We can see we can get the airports on as well, if we really wanted to, which is quite cool. You can see our waypoints as well. Passing through 9005, there's our clean speed. Coming through 250 and then 233 for Mincy. Onto that left-hand turn coming in. Passing through 8005. As we come inbound now to Mincy, staying inbound with the VOR as we come through. And we can see we're going to be making that slight right hand turn, which will bring us through, ready to come in. So there is the island right in front of us now, as we are 16 nautical miles to go. 26 nautical miles from the VOR. And then when we are near, we'll go into the VOR approach onto the rows, so we can get ready to intercept. Passing through 6007. Three nautical miles to go, 10 DME from the VOR once we get to Mincy. Everything is all ready, the aircraft is fully ready for the approach. So what I'm going to do is we're going to basically get down, configure her ready to come in. It's going to roll for 2000 at Dill, so we'll get the VOR ready to swing. And that's going to come over to the right. We are currently just coming inbound as we get ready for that right hand turn from Mincy, which is 7.6 DME away. So as the airpath goes into that right hand turn, we'll see the VOR needle start to slowly move over as we're like right ready to intercept down. And then from the VOR, we're then going to basically get the approach and everything all in and set for us. So you can see the needle now just slowly moving over as we wait for the nav to come in. We're passing through Mincy, got 15.2 DME, which is where we're going to basically 10 DME is Mincy when we pass through. As you see, the needle just slowly starting to maneuver itself, so we're waiting for it to get a little bit closer until we make the right hand turn. And once we make the right hand turn, we can then start to come in ready for the approach. So I'm going to drop down into a slats. And we can get our speed in. How's your Sam? As the needle's now coming through, 10 DMEs with 2.3 from Mincy as you get ready to come through onto the approach. We've got the VR32 Yankee, which is also set and checked. Ground spoilers are armed, and we've got a auto brake setting of number 3 to come in for as well. So now that's all come in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I'm going to hit the approach. And what I'm also going to do is, as we go down onto the perf, we've got the approach phase, which is also in as well. So the aircraft's now just moving over to the right of the final approach. Will be coming down as we've got 1500 feet, which is set. We've got a vertical deviation, which is checked. So we could have activated it a little later. Once we get down to 1500, the aircraft should start to decel and start to descend down with the glide slope, as we are currently at our slat speed. So the aircraft's now going to start to descend. Going to go into a flaps 2. Once we come through on the 3-degree glide path, we can see here 4 DME, we need to be at 13.38. Okay, so airport is in sight. Just bring the control column over now as we start to slowly decel the aircraft with the current winds, as we've got a slight tailwind in the vicinity. Final approach is active, and we've got 155 down on our speed. Flaps 2, which is currently in 2,500, which is set. Airport is in sight. 4 DME needs to be at 1,338. Once we're down onto our final flap retraction. Okay, so we're going to get the landing gear down now. As I'm happy now, what we can do is we can disconnect the autopilot. And I'll now fly the aircraft manually. So, coming in quite hot. Fly it visually now as we come through. So we're going down to a flaps 3. We've got a 155 on the approach, which is going to be checked. 1,000 checked, flaps 4 can be set. As we just slowly now manoeuvre the aircraft, ready to come through, following the vertical profile.
Above. Minimum.
Continue.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30, 20, retard, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are on, and reversers are active. Full pressure on the yoke. Okay, reversers can be stowed now. Can be disarmed, and here we are, guys, down in lovely Bahamas for the arrival of the night with Air Jamaica, and we'll be doing a return flight back to Kingston as well, as we just roll through now, and we'll get off on the next taxiway, ready to disembark down on for the stand. So as we roll through, for some reason it likes to play up with the keyboard, but what we'll do is we'll quickly just brake here. Our spoilers can now come back in, flaps can be fully retracted, and we'll now make that right hand turn to vacate off of the runway. So, lovely nice arrival into the Bahamas. As we're going to just come over the hold short, we can get the landing lights and everything all off. So as we just roll through, for some reason there's something in the AV tab which has sparked it off. There we go. So if we go overhead now, we can get the landing lights off, nose can go to taxi, nav can go to 1, strobes can go off, and runway tunnels are off as well. As we now make a left-hand turn, guys, I'm going to leave you with the landing cinematics of the flight. So thanks for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe, help us get to that 2K subscriber goal. Stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon for the next available flight. So take care for now, guys. Bye bye.